Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
My friend, there's such a saying as life follows light, and life wants to live. It's okay to be healthy. In fact, it feels good to feel good. This is an ongoing lesson for me this year, learning about the different levels of health, the different levels of feeling, just for myself, playing around with energy and learning what feels dense, what feels light, what feels heavy, what feels unburdened, what feels smooth, what feels harsh, what feels taxing, what feels like flow, like floating. There are so many different levels and degrees of energy. Now, on the one hand, at the time of this recording, I won't say its name, but there is a virus going around. Yet, many people are in fear, as well as the juxtaposition, the opposite. There are so many others who are not in fear. My own parents have asked me to take precautions, to be careful, to make sure that I'm protecting myself. Make sure I'm not touching certain things, and make sure I'm very clean, and make sure that I'm just observing all the time so that I don't catch this said virus. But I had to tell my parents, I'm not worried at all. In fact, I'm actually not even worried about the virus. I'm not bothered by it, period. See, I don't watch the news. Now, I don't say that like I'm boasting or I'm proud. I'm just saying that as a matter of fact. It's just not in my lifestyle to cater to the news frequency. So, when I noticed walking around downtown Los Angeles, more and more people wearing masks, I asked myself, what is this? Why is everyone wearing masks? Is something going on that I don't know about? This is interesting. And then I started to hear it more and more about this virus. But I still didn't let it affect me, because before it had not affected me. So why should it affect me now? It was a question I had to ask myself. Feeling so good, feeling so happy, feeling so positive, walking down the street. Why should I allow these people or this thought, this mindset, this mind state to affect and change my vibration? I was operating on the life frequency. I was no longer in the death frequency. So when my parents responded to my nonchalant responses, saying, well, at least be concerned, I had to say, well, no, I don't need to be concerned, because concern and worry leads to fear, which leads to stress, which stress can bring its own sicknesses. Forget about a virus, right? So, in my own understanding, in my own journey, I have realized for myself that I don't need to enter into the reality of others' reality. I can live in a world that is wonderful, a world that is not plagued or burdened or operates on strife, but a world that is abundant, that is magnificent, that is wonderful. And I choose to live in that world every day. So what world will you choose to live in, my friend? Will you choose to speak death, to think death and lack? Or will you choose to speak life? Give life to life, for life wants to live. And whatever frequency you are operating, that will be your vibration. And that vibration will attract to you all that it has for you. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, the Open Palm Podcast, here in Sherman Oaks, California. The open palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray you received a kind message from this episode today, that it would allow you to refrain just a little bit from panicking or going haywire when everybody else does. You don't have to mix and mingle with the crowd if it's not your crowd. And like I told my parents, yeah, I know that the virus is a thing. It's just not my thing. Share this episode with a like-minded individual who is learning and growing, becoming their greatest version, just like you. And my friend, if this is your first time hearing this podcast, definitely subscribe if you're not already for more inspirational messages like this. But if you feel compelled to support, then consider opening your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw. Supporting the podcast there is much appreciated. Much love to you. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care.
Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.